Hi guys, this is Jason here from the Nathaniel School of Music. I teach piano here. And in this lesson, I wanted to talk about what I call thickening a chord. So you take a chord you know or which you play traditionally or which you play often. Let's say a major chord like an F major. And the way you can sort of make this sound a lot more enhanced, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of the pianists out there and you wonder, or maybe even in this performance which I played at the intro of this series, um, you may find that it sounded very normal. It didn't sound too jazzy and it didn't have a lot of these altered intervals, but at the same time it sounded fairly sophisticated, or it sounded a little different than what you would normally hear in conventional pop music. Maybe this. So what am I doing? I'm basically taking a standard sound like a major chord, and I'm stacking a second interval as or else a fourth interval over that major chord. So it sort of thickens it, and it doesn't change the meaning of the chord. It still sounds quite positive. A major chord still holds its emotion, but sort of sounds a little bit more emotional, and it sort of speaks out a bit more when you clutter it up with the second or the fourth interval. Right? Mind you, there are some instances where the fourth may not actually be diatonic. So you need to watch out and probably ensure that you stick to the scale. So if you're on G major, if you're playing, this is chord number 1, G major. That's your A minor. B minor. Now the problem here is C sharp is not really part of the G major. So you may not find that sound useful. However, when you're playing the C chord and when I'm on the G major scale, the fourth is not going to be a perfect fourth. It's going to be a sharp 4. That's C major and C major with a added F sharp. So that's like a D sus4 at the end. So that's like a simple chord progression: G major, E minor, C major, and D major, which you would use quite often. But in this world, it's sort of still sounds sort of with the same theme and with the same mood, but I've colored it up a little bit more. And I can even create a small motif by playing that added sus2 or the major second, and then coming back to the root for some really interesting color, because this will add to creating a very unique piano phrase for the song. So you can have like Na, 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 arpeggiated a bit. Right. So let's just try to summarize that. You start with any chord you know, major or minor, and you color it up or thicken it, as I say, with the 2 as well as the 4. Well, not 2 and 4, one or the other, you could say. Actually, 2 and 4 also sounds quite nice, so you can even try that. So you basically thicken up the chord with maybe the 2, 3 and 5 with the root, of course. Then the 3, the 4 and the 5. And then you can just color it up with the 2 and the 4 if you wish. And play around with that. And the aim is to bring in the 2 or the 4 with the third. You don't want to replace the third. Right? So you want that fat, that thick sound to... You want that to sort of come together and give you that really big expressive idea. And the other point I wanted to mention is you either choose to stay diatonic or not. But in most cases, you would want to stay diatonic because this idea is more to enrich what you are already playing in a song. So in events where you have to play a C major chord, which I explained earlier, if I want to play a C major chord with an add 2, I can do that. But if I want to make a C major chord with an add 4, this 4 will not work when I'm on the key of G major. So the 4 will only work when I raise it. So it creates a very ambient, dreamy sound, but it works in the context of the song because it doesn't change the fundamental nature of the chord and it retains it on the scale. So that's basically it. You can do this with major or minor chords. Thicken the chord by adding a 2 or a 4. I encourage you to practice it in your own space and try to make some music out of it. That's the best way to learn all this stuff. That's about it. If you found that tutorial useful, please like our video, give us a thumbs up, share it, and all that other stuff which you do when you like something. And stay tuned for a lot more videos by our students, performances, and also more tutorials by our faculty. Cheers.